everybody. It's Dirty Thursday, brought to you by River City Speedway. Drives the number 14 NLRA late model Brody Troftgruben in the studio today. Oh, and there's more. He drives the 8H Buffalo Wild Wings NOSA Outlaw Sprint Car Jade Hastings in the studio too. It's going to be fun. Show today, by the way, brought to you by Executive Properties. Are you still putting off that project around the house that's been bugging you forever? Do you think you can wait until spring and call a contractor and have the work done ASAP? Well, good luck with that. Executive Properties has openings right now to get that project done. In fact, you can check out their Google reviews. Aaron says Chris and his team did a spectacular job in the damage to my aunt's garage and siding. Kept us up to date on the progress, and the finished product was amazing. Thank you for your professionalism and hard work. Hey, get that project done sooner than later. Call Executive Properties, 701-330-1273. All right, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to text or call. Nick Curtis is already on the ball, man. Good morning, all. Our number, by the way, is 701-213-0863, 701-213-0863. Well, let's do it. Let's get it out of the way. Our daily segment called Jokes My Neighbor Tells Me. Here we go. Jokes My Neighbor Tells Me. Why are hemorrhoids called hemorrhoids? Why are hemorrhoids called hemorrhoids? Because asteroids was already taken. Come on, Dale. How can he not like that one?
That's a good one.
Not hemorrhoids. Asteroids was already taken.
It's better than most of them.
You think so?
Yeah.
Most of them? Come on. Gotta get a tough crew in here today. Man, I tell you what, tough crowd. Let's see. Oh, by the way, I wanted to show you the new Dirty Thursday shirts. We've got, there's a link you'll be able to see if you would.
In the chat room, and it's in the description here.
Okay, in the chat room, in the description, you'll be able to see Dirty Thursday, and it says something on the back too, but my brand new shirt debuting this bad boy today. Get yourself one. All right. What else we got going on here? Oh, by the way, show number 200. Dirty Thursday show number 200 is coming. And what a coincidence. It's coming the day before the World of Outlaws invade the River City Speedway. That is going to be a blast. So here's what we're going to do. We are, tentatively, we're going to do our show from the River City Speedway, show number 200. And then there's the big deal at the Broken Drum. That's going to be going on that night. Living Like Outlaws, Wes Irwin's going to be there, and we're going to get together and have one hell of a party at the Broken Drum. I was told a lot of the Outlaws will be showing up there, so this is going to be fun. I can't wait for that. Let's get through our track schedule, brought to you by Forks Karting Association. Watch the karts race Wednesday nights at Forks Karting Speedway and the Grand Forks Fairgrounds. You can find out more by going to forkskartingassociation.com. And it's too bad their opening night was rained out last night, but here we go. Tentative schedule for this weekend. Friday, of course, River City Speedway, WISSOTA Street Stocks, the Midwest Mods, late models, the NOSA Sprints, and the Lightning Sprints, all going to be there. Saturday at Devil's Lake, just the Pure Stocks, WISSOTA Street Stocks, Midwest Mods, Non-Wing Sprints, Trophy Class. Sunday, Buffalo River, First Responder Military Appreciation Night. We're going to have Lightning Sprints, Legends, Short Trackers, IMCA Hobby Stocks, WISSOTA Midwest Mods, and WISSOTA Street Stocks. And let's see here. One more thing. Speaking of Forks Karting Association, I have got the raffle tickets. Okay, I don't want to get stuck buying a book like I did last year, so hit me up, $10 a piece. They're going to have a $2,000 winner, a $1,000 winner, 4 $500 winners, 7 $250 winners, and 10 $100 winners. So hit me up if you're looking for that, for tickets, okay? I wanted to show you one thing. Jade Hastings, I know you like fishing. Check out these pictures, if you can see these from last night. Are we coming? Oh, there we go. A couple of pigs for you. And then a couple of nice fish, too.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Was it still raining at all when you guys were
Oh, yes, it was.
That's always fun.
It was raining.
Makes the fingers cold.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want the other few photos, John, too, or hold off for now?
Yeah, hold off on those for now. All right, let's get going here with these guys. 2 winners from last week.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, how about you, man? How are you doing, Brody?
Not too bad. Yourself?
I'm doing great. We kicked off the season last week. You kicked it off with a new car, and you had a pretty good night.
Yeah, it was about a perfect first night, you know, starting the back in the heat and winning that and leading all the laps in the feature. It was awesome.
you know, your mom was all nerved out. I was talking to her before the races. I've never seen her nervous like that. I don't know, maybe she is all the time. She doesn't show it, but I know she was a new car and she was all. Did you get a lot of laps in before Friday night? Did you do any tested tuning, or did you just kind of get in it and go?
We got about, I'd say roughly like 20 laps over at Devil's Lake for a test, and that went pretty good. So we know, the car was put together good and nothing fell off. So also got a little bit more comfortable out there. When the season starts, everybody's a little rusty, so it's nice just to get a few laps under your belt.
Yeah. How cool is it to win on opening night, though? I mean, does it feel like that helps?
Yeah, that's awesome. Kicking off the season strong, and we got a new car, obviously, so we didn't know how good it was going to work, and obviously it went pretty well. So
good, awesome. And then you, man, you come out and you win too, Jade Hastings. Track got rough, and I'm going to say this right now. Doogie Howser, the dude, I mean, he pretty much worked around the clock. From what I understand, they couldn't even start working on that track till like late Thursday. In order for them to even get it racy at all, they had to do a lot of work, but it started to go away towards the end. There was a big hole in turn number 1, but it messed a lot of guys up, but not the 8H. Man, you just floated right through that thing. There was that fine line up there, too, between that and the cushion, but it didn't seem to bother you.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time on the track after every single feature before hours on Friday, talking with Doogie, what are you going to do? What's your plan? How are you going to get rid of these ruts? And giving him my 2 cents also. And so, I mean, I had a lot of time up there just sitting there on the four-wheeler watching them and kind of game planning for what I was going to do, which made it really simple when I got out there. And anyone that wants to complain about the track, all I would say is we're getting some overcast days that we haven't had for the last 2-3 summers. We used to get them all the time back in the day. And if you remember, there used to always be a rut in turn 1 every single year.
Yeah.
Every year until the frost would leave the ground, middle of June. No different this year. I'm pretty happy to see the track like that. It's fun just racing with a track that has some character. Yeah, good time.
And you get it up in rideoutcar.com Victory Lane. You had mentioned something in Victory Lane that caught my eye. Something about a big boy motor. Explain that a little bit, if you would.
Yeah, I've kind of always, if you know me, I've always said we just need an engine. I feel like if we had the same engine as everyone we're racing against, we'd do pretty good most of the time. And we bought one this off season that was twice the price of anything we had ever bought before. And yeah, it made the car just so much less intimidating.
Yeah, and you said you'd never driven like that before.
Yeah,
It was
it could float over the bumps. If I got a little up over the cushion, you just give it a little extra throttle and drive out of it.
Wow.
It was probably the most fun I've ever had. Just being able to rip around there through holes and on the cushion and never feel timid or worried, I guess. Just in complete control.
Have you done any laps? Have you turned any laps going into that Friday?
A lot of laps in my head, yeah.
That's it, though.
Yeah.
But, I mean, no test and tunes for you or the 8H team?
We were supposed to go racing the weekend before in
Yep.
Ogilvie and Cedar Lake, but Ogilvie rained out, and we didn't feel like it was worth it to go all that way for one.
Sure. Yeah.
So, no.
Wow. Scotty Iverson, good morning, guys. Hope you enjoyed my new food. Yes, we absolutely did. That's the one thing about being an announcer. He brings up the new grub for us, and it was
What's
awesome.
new?
Huh?
What's new this year?
What was it, like Hot Pocket Pizza Bites, I believe? Or
yeah.
deep fried Hot Pocket Pizza
And
Bites?
then I had, if you're watching, tell everybody what I had. I can't even remember what it is now, but good stuff. I'm hoping he'll get in there. Jeff, Chewy, Cornels, hello from beautiful southern Minnesota. And, looky. Bryce is watching. Morning, honey.
Good morning, babe.
It's interesting you bring up the rainouts there. It seems to be the story of this early off season, or the early weeks of the season here, just kind of countrywide.
Always is.
I think the Outlaws got rained out last weekend too. And
the Outlaws have had a hard time, but it's always the beginning of the year. People, I heard it. Well, that's what happens when you schedule so early. May 10th
stop.
wasn't that early, in my opinion.
When I was in 6th grade, we raced, I want to say it was like April 7th.
Yeah, wow.
First week, but that's never happened any other time
Right.
in my life. But
Prime rib burger, that's what I had. Oh, man, was that good. Bailey Bierge, hey, Jade, how have you been?
Hi, Bailey. I'm good. I hope you're doing good.
Yeah, look at Kyle Lowney. Everybody likes Jade today. By the way, when Bryce Langerud said good morning, if you people haven't heard, why don't you give us the news there, buddy?
Yeah. She's going to be Bryce Hastings sometime soon.
How about that?
She was pretty excited. I guess I was kind of excited.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I would be too. Hey, I'm going to tell you this right now, and I'm going to be truthful. I don't think you look like Jack Ward
Who the heck is that?
from Hawaii 5-0.
See, I've never
McGarrett.
watched it.
Yeah.
Who said that?
I saw it on social media, and the picture that they had of
Probably a
you
Stephen Young thing.
actually did kind of look like McGarrett. It was one of my favorite shows back in the day. How about you? You got a significant other? You ready to get married and settle down soon? And you're looking at me like I'm freaking nuts.
Marriage, not for a while.
Yeah. You have a significant other, though? Or not?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay. Smart guy. Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
didn't say
spent so
that out
much
loud.
time on the race car.
Well, that's true. Morning, JT Grandma.
Oh yeah, hi.
Oh.
That's the grandma who raised me. I lived with her.
Oh,
my
okay.
Whole life, so
Sure.
She's basically mom.
Yeah. But a great night. Your thoughts going into first night of the year? Do you guys, and I'll ask you the same thing, do you expect, is it like any other normal night for you? Do you expect to go out onto the track and win?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, yeah, you're never gonna win them all, and you're probably gonna lose most of them. But yeah,
So if you, on the first night, say, would you be happy with a top 5 or a top 3?
top 3 I would have been. Well, I mean, it all depends. How
Right, this shoulda, woulda, coulda.
sure you can agree. If the car's good and I get a 5th, that's not good. If the car's really bad and I drove good and we ended
Right,
up like
right.
maybe, yeah.
Okay.
3rd would have been okay.
Yeah.
On a first night.
Okay. Dave Rosenthal, Brody loves him and leaves him. Man, talking about you, man. Loves him and leaves him. What about you? Brand
Brody
new
is
car.
not a player. He's a
Yeah,
good guy.
he's not a player. New car. Expectations. I don't know. What were you hoping, and what would you have been happy with?
I guess I was just kind of shooting for the podium, and hoping that I liked the car and, you don't wreck anything. That's another big thing. And, obviously we exceeded expectations. So that was good.
I thought you were ripping too. Just the way you were driving, you look like you would. You're more of a veteran now. You were ripping it. For
Yeah,
real.
and there was a couple of cars that surprised me on Friday night. I'm not going to throw out any names out there right now, but in a couple of classes, there were some guys that run fairly good, but I thought were running really good on Friday night. But man, the attrition, there was a lot of cars that ended up getting towed off on the hook on that one. But we're going to have a better track this week. I am looking forward to it. New car, big difference between the old one and this car?
I'd say it's really balanced as far as how it likes to drive, and it feels like it listens to me a little bit more, where I want to go. Doesn't get really disrupted in the corner too much. It kind of just goes around smooth. And yeah, I really like it.
Okay. Now, and with you, Jade, you talk about the big boy motor, and it runs like a whole completely different car. How do you have to make up for that then with like shock package or setup or anything to make up for that extra motor? And how much more work is that? Or do you just kind of go in thinking, well, I'm hoping it's going to do this, and let's make these adjustments?
Yeah, the goal is, I mean, we kind of knew we'd just need to get more weight on the rear tires, basically. If the engine is as good as we think it's going to be, we're going to need to just add some downforce and get some weight back there. But we had thought about it. We thought about a lot of things, though, this offseason. We had a lot of spare time toward the end of the offseason because we actually had our crap together for once. We're just getting more organized, but a lot of time to change things and measure and change and measure and just keep measuring your ride heights. It's kind of like having scales without having scales. Just stuff we've never done before that really gave me and my buddy Eric a new kind of understanding.
Well, you mentioned something about that in Victory Lane about spending a lot more time on the car over the off season. What kicked into your brain to do that? I mean,
Well,
just you decided, this is what everybody's doing, and I haven't been, or let's just try something different.
Wade Nygaard told me I needed to do it years ago. It was probably like my 3rd or 4th season. He told me that I basically asked him what the difference was because he was hitting a hot streak, and he had told me that I had potential, and if I ever want to do anything, I need to set my car in the shop and spend 2-3 weeks just changing and measuring with the stuff no one wants to do. when the car's completely race ready, ready to go in the trailer, you don't want to sit there and
Sure,
then take
sure.
it all apart again. But yeah, some things you just can't understand until you see the change written down. You know.
Yep,
You need for me especially. I'm a visual learner, but just learned a lot. You know. Yeah, that's about it. It gives me a lot of confidence, and hopefully it all pays off.
I guess a question I got to piggyback off that for both of you for working into new upgrades for the car for the season. How much do you spend each week or during the off season in general just recapping, reviewing past race footage just to be like, oh, hey, we could take a look at this and maybe tweak this here and that? Is that a big part of your off season or just week to week too, just reviewing just past race footage?
Yeah, throughout the off season, motors need to be gone through, make sure everything's right. Shocks need to be gone through. Sometimes, if they're older, they can be updated. And, those are just a few of the things that a guy thinks about every off season.
I'd say with the footage, Brody definitely watches a lot of race footage. I know he does because he tries to show me his race footage. I watch it all too, mainly when I think the car's good. When the car's not good, I don't want to watch it. I usually know that it wasn't good. But if we win or if the car's good, I'm definitely watching, and I'm watching the car. I'm not watching the race.
Do either of you have like a go-to person like in your crew or family, friends, just be hey, can you record the races for me tonight just to have like maybe a preferred angle to look at or something like that?
Yeah, my mom does it for me. She records me every heat and feature, and I kind of review it every night regardless if it was good or bad. And even if if I'm struggling, I'll watch some of the other guys that are in front of me, see what they're doing different, how they're driving the car, and try learn off of them so I can improve for the next week.
Yeah, and I'd say my stepdad records, and the reason he does, and I think every parent should record their kids' races no matter what they're racing. The reason we do it is because Mark Dahlmeier's dad said I don't remember I'm sure it was Mark's mom was recording all the races for Mark, and he'd go back and watch them all, and Mike would say, well, I saw it this way, and Mark would say, no, I saw it this way, and then they'd watch the footage, and they'd both learn one of them was wrong or whatever. And I mean, you can learn so much. I watch, like he says, he watches every race. I probably watch almost every race, and for sure when I'm fast, you can learn so much, and it gives you confidence to see yourself. It's hard to understand, like when you go stand on the backstretch and watch Dahlmeier and Pierce race it into 3, you're like, wow, there's no way I'm going that fast. So
yeah, it's crazy,
it's good
isn't
to
it?
have a video to see it once in a while. Like, okay, I can do this. The car looks good. I know what I'm doing. But yeah, it's very important. I'd tell every parent to record their kids' races.
Yeah,
for sure.
Got some people calling Cole Schill, who's Brody Troftgruben. Reed says you were more comfortable in the new car than the old Brody for sure. Brody is his mom 100%. She's got the iPad ready, Reed. Question for both. I know you raced karts. Did you race karts also?
Yes.
Okay. How many years did you guys each race each other in karts, or did you not race each other?
I remember for sure 1 year.
Well, I started in like 10 or 11, and when I started, I think you were in junior 2 already, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't race together until we would have been like 2012 maybe, or your second year, your third year.
Yes, but then when I went up to junior 2, I went to the heavy class because there was a heavy class.
Oh yeah. Maybe we didn't race together. No, we did. We had to.
It would have been at least 1 year.
Senior medium, did we race together? I don't know if I moved up before you or not. Maybe. I feel like we definitely raced together 1 year. I'm pretty positive.
Did both of you like start within like a year or two of each other in go-karts or so? Or?
I started when I was really young, back in, that would have been like 2005 or 6. So,
Wow.
And you started in 10, you said, or 11?
10 or 11, I think.
Yeah.
How important is it, do you think, and how important was it to your career where you guys are now to start in karts?
I think it definitely helps out a lot, maybe more than a guy actually think it does. Getting laps behind a steering wheel and, just racing, learning how, what you can do, what you can't do, what's acceptable, getting car control, throttle control, all of that, it gets to start there and helps you keep you straight on the racetrack. I think is a big skill that develops from the go-kart class.
And almost every sprint car guy has raced karts. How important is it for you and where you are today?
Very important. All the same things, I guess. It's hard. I feel like they do create some bad habits though when you're going into a sprint car, just not having suspension.
Oh, sure.
Where it's good to get your kid racing anything. I think a snowmobile would be beneficial even. But yeah, the sprint cars are very tippy and they're all over the place.
Yeah.
And the go-kart's not. It's
A little
locked down.
squirrelier. Yeah.
So it's way different and everything's kind of opposite of the way you drive it, I suppose.
My neighbors have a 4-year-old girl, and she's got one of those pink Jeeps, electric Jeeps, but you should see her. I mean, she flies on that thing. And I mean, she drifts and does cookies, and that's what they're thinking now. They're thinking that maybe a go-kart would be good for her. And I told her, I said, just start going and watching. Go on a Wednesday night, start watching. The people there are more than happy. If she's comfortable with it, watch for a while. If she's comfortable, somebody will let her turn some laps in the car later, because there's always somebody there that'll do that and get your interest. I already know people that have got carts for sale and parts and all of that kind of stuff. It's not too bad to get them started. When they're young, of course, everything gets more expensive the more you move up, but that's just the way it is. But what a great thing. Forks Karting Association, a great racetrack, great facility, and they do great things. There's a lot of good kids that have come out of there and that are racing that we're seeing on Friday nights at River City Speedway. That is for sure. We're going to go over some numbers, and we're going to go over last year's stats and things like that. We're going to take a little break here. Dirty Thursday brought to you by River City Speedway. Brody, Troftgruben, and Jade Hastings in the studio. And we'll be back here in just a minute, okay? Life doesn't ever seem to slow down. Everything needs to be done right now. Well, when it comes time for an oil change, stop into Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Most changes are done in about 15 minutes. Valvoline Instant Oil Change does more too. Tranny and coolant flushes, tire rotations, and batteries. And included in your oil change, they're going to top off your fluids, check your tires, battery, lights, wipers, and cabin air filter too. And you get discounts for fleets and the military. They can text and email invoices and coupons and mention Grand Forks Best Source and get $10 off your oil change. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. They're open Monday through Saturday with no appointment needed. Pickup and delivery is also available if you live in Grand Forks. And Valvoline Instant Oil Change is now hiring. If you'd like to join their team as an assistant manager, customer service rep, or lube tech, stop in to find out more. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. For a complete oil change and more, they're at 3325 South 38th Street, or call them 701-780-8462. And make sure you tell them Grand Forks Best Source sent you. All right, and we are back. Dirty Thursday brought to you by River City Speedway. Brody Troftgruben and Jade Hastings are in the studio today with us. Dale, the producer, who is also with Forks Karting Association and the voice of Devil's Lake Speedway, just itching to be able to use his talents, but has not gotten the chance to yet. So
we got to do a practice session last week. So
that's right.
Got that and got to work out some stuff there. Got new video equipment this year. Going to be live streaming the races this year, and then just having them up available for on demand afterwards. So really stoked to do that.
Go-kart races you're live streaming, or the big races?
The go-kart races
Karts.
will be live streaming, and I think Devil's Lake has something worked out with Darn.tv. I think that's who they use. They didn't have them there last weekend, but I think Heather said they'll be there either this weekend or the following week.
Darn TV. Yeah, they've been around for a while. When we look at last year, Jade, third River City Speedway points. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. NOSA champ, 29 features, 3 wins, 12 top 5s, 18 top 10s. Going for your third NOSA title. All in all, what do you think of your year last year? What are your thoughts about last year?
I don't know. I don't know what to think about.
Are you ever happy with? I mean, and I don't mean that in a bad way.
I'm happy with how last week went. I'll tell you that.
Right, right.
But I don't know. It was good. Just got off to a slow start. Never really found our rhythm. Mm-hmm. Always consistent, always fast, but never good and really good. I felt like.
Yeah.
So no, not terribly happy. I think when you asked me this last spring, I gave myself like a B or a B plus. The year before last year, I'd probably do a C plus or B.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're okay. You're degressing.
Yeah.
Okay. I see now the NOSA schedule has been kind of scaled back compared to last year. There was a lot of traveling. I know not everybody was into it, but staying a little bit closer to home this year. Your thoughts on that?
I think it's really good for the club. Just good for everybody around here. Good for the racetrack. people won't get burnt out as fast, not traveling as much. So it's just all together good for the local racing. It's good for my team too. We want to race here. All of our sponsors are here. My dream was to race here. So yeah, it's great. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, every Friday couldn't be much better, I guess. That's perfect.
You plan on doing a little more at Husted's this year?
Yeah, kind of. It's same as last year. We'll start. We want to go there every week, and then we'll just see how it goes.
See where the money takes you and go from there.
We want to have fun, too. So
right,
if we stop having fun, then we got to scale back.
Okay. Brett Anderson says, Jade or Brody, if any of you guys want to run a Yamaha Wednesday, come back to the trailer. We'll get you in Brandon's cart. Oh, boy. That sounds like a double dog dare ya. Dale deserves a shout-out. His first night as track announcer at Devil's Lake last week. Woohoo. There you go.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Kaylee.
How about that? We'll give you a
round
of applause.
That was a blast last week. Had so much fun. Big thanks to Heather, Nolan. I know Stephen Lewis has helped me out a ton there. And Brendan Grover got a call to a late model feature with him. So, yeah, so much fun last week. Looking forward to the rest of the season. I know a huge weekend this weekend, too. I know we got to do a fun redraw there. Brody, I know you're in the redraw. Just kind of curious. That was so cool seeing the kids get in on it. Your guys were signing frisbees for your redraw spot and tossing them into the crowd, and the kids were going nuts. That had to be fun seeing the kids get involved in like that.
Yeah, that was a really cool way to do the redraw, to get them involved and to see their reactions and have them run for the frisbee and everything. That was awesome.
I always think it's so cool just seeing how they mix up the redraws throughout the season. For question for both of you, what's some more just interesting or unique redraws that you've been a part of over the years? Like, were they mixed in a special theme?
That's a tough one.
Yeah,
that is a tough one. There's been, I mean, it's usually something like the frisbee deal. Watertown last year or 2 years ago, I want to say they did Pepsi bottles, and then your number was written on the cap or whatever. No one's really gotten that creative now that I think about it, though. There could be some fun ones. I like when I see I've seen on Dirt Vision at the Front Row Challenge. It might be on Flow Racing, whatever, but they do a 40-yard dash.
Oh, wow.
And that one's awesome. Obviously, if you're a big boy, you're not starting off
Oh,
front.
no, if you have bad knees.
It'd be a good one for me, though. I'd like to participate in that one.
Well, yeah, 110 pounds, you could fly by those guys.
I'm a good runner, too. I'd do it.
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I wanted to ask you a quick question before we get over to Brody here and talk about his last year. But working with the MSTS on some South Dakota races, bringing some different competition. Your thoughts on that? I mean, you're traveling a little bit, but still not as much as last year. And how forward are you looking to running with those guys?
I look forward to it. If I didn't have a job and if all my crew guys didn't have a job, we'd run for the points title with them. It's just too hard to do. I wish I could. I'm excited to run with them. I love what they're doing. That's going to be a great thing. I think there should be another touring series up here. NOSA can have North Dakota and they can have South Dakota, and we can battle all summer long.
That'd be pretty cool. Sam, I remember when Jade was younger and still in karts, his dream was always to win a race against Dobby, who was his idol growing up. Savannah Strand, Alexandria had axe throwing for a redraw once. That is a great idea. And Amanda Joe says, I'll take that as a challenge. Fun redraw ideas. Glad we brought that up.
Heck
It was
yeah.
good.
We got to think of something cool.
Well,
Amanda, get on it. Let's do something. One
Yeah.
night for the IRA in front of all the fans. We can throw pies at each other or something.
Pie each other,
The number
pie
at
each
the
other in
bottom
the
of the
face.
pie.
I'd love to do play-by-play for that.
gosh.
That'd be fun. Now let's see how fast Jade can run. Brody last year, back-to-back North Dakota titles. That's pretty cool. Fourth in the NLRA points. Devil's Lake champ, 27 top 10s, 14 top 5s, 1 win. You're already even with last year with your first win on the first night. But how would you grade your year last year?
I'd say maybe probably like a B plus. We started off the year really good, and then kind of right after that, for the first month, we didn't do too well, and then it kind of heated up when we were down at the Rumble there in South Dakota. We were leading feature laps there, and after that, we were getting quite a few top 5s in a row and running good. Got a 6th place at the Sites Memorial. That's always a very difficult race to run well. So we ended off on a really good note.
And all in a car that was built when you were like 5. Maybe not that old, but let's face it, you were driving an old car for quite a while.
Yeah, we had a 2013 Rocket, so it's about 10 years old. and we were able to make it work pretty decent out there.
Yeah, you 10-year-old car and you're still winning races. That's not too bad. How many races did you win with that car?
5.
Okay.
I
okay.
think.
Never enough.
Never enough. Never enough.
That is the right answer.
It's
Not enough.
Cool to see you getting cool to see us getting better equipment. Me and Brody always talk. We kind of started racing at the same time. He started a year after me, and we always said, and 10 years from now, maybe we can be the guys running this track.
Sure.
And we're not quite there yet.
Well, but it
but
takes
it's still
time.
A dream, yeah.
Do you guys are you friends away from the track?
Yeah, we're not best friends, but yeah, we're in the same friend group and
Sure,
we hang
because
out.
well, you know, when I first reached out to you last week, I think I reached out to you Saturday saying, "Hey, would you come on Dirty Thursday?" Because I was thinking, you know, let's try to get some winners in here right away. And I said, "Bring somebody with," and he texted me back and said, "You were coming with," and I thought, well, crap, he just took away another show from me. But then I thought, well, double crap, that's awesome. That's a great idea. We get the 2 top tier guys, the 2 top classes, the winners of each class here in the same show. I think that's awesome.
Great way to kick off kind of like a new season, kind
Oh,
of.
hell yeah. Hell yeah. Now, you running for points, River City Speedway, Devil's Lake, wherever, NLRA title, going for it all?
Yeah, as of now, we'll be at every show in Grand Forks and Devils, and plan to follow the NLRA as well. And after that, I guess I'm not really sure. We'll maybe try throwing a few more shows if everything's going well this year. So.
BT from Rumors is out there flexing for us. How about you, Jade? Are points a big thing for you? I know we were talking about Husitz and stuff, but you know, I mean, you're the NOSA champ. How important is it for you to be a track champion?
Well, it doesn't pay any money
No.
or a trophy or anything, but it would be important.
Pretty still cool to say, though, isn't it?
Now, obviously, I would like to do it once. I know they used to, I don't know if they're still doing it, but they used to have the calendars all around town, the posters with the points champions on there.
Yeah.
And as a kid, it was always Dobmeyer and Nygaard on there, and I wanted to see my car on
Sure.
there. So if they still do the calendars, I definitely want to get on there one day. Other than that, after my first points championship, I kind of stopped caring. It's cool to do once.
Now, is it not just, okay, we all know this, of anybody that knows anything about racing, if you are a River City Speedway champ, it's not necessarily just Jade Hastings in the 8H River City Speedway champ, but when you see that poster that's got your car on it, it's also paying a great tribute to your crew
And my sponsors.
and your sponsors and all of that stuff. And a lot of people don't realize that, but it's not easy asking for money every year to get a team going.
Oh, yeah, seeing my car on the poster isn't about the pride of having me on the poster. It's all of my sponsors and potential new sponsors. Just seeing, you know, there's a reason why Dobmeyer is who he is. It's because he wins a lot, and because he does that, his car is everywhere. You can see him everywhere, and everyone wants to be a part of something like that. So yeah, I just want to get on the dang poster one time and showcase my sponsors and make my crew happy. I think everyone would be happy to be on there once, whether they say they're happy about it or not. All my
Absolutely.
crew, they don't care. They say they're like me, whatever, but I'm sure it'd be cool for them.
Yeah, you know darn well it would be.
Yeah.
You got off social media.
Yeah.
It's funny because when I can remember interviewing you when you first started, you've come a long way. Social media is a beast, or it's great, and it doesn't seem like there's anything in between. Did you just do that to just because it's a distraction to you and just to get the hell away from it for a while? Now you've got a fiance that can handle your social media stuff, and she, let's face it, she's a little more level-headed than all of us at this
she
table
can
right
be.
now. Oh, she can be.
I've had to hold her back before on social media.
Okay,
And in real
okay.
life, so
Yeah, and
that's why we love each other. We got fiery personalities.
this could be a hell of a wedding dance, huh?
Heck yeah. you might be what do they call that?
MC?
No.
Officiating?
Officiating. Oh, hey.
Yeah.
I'm ordained
making
now.
us. You might
Okay.
be making us the Hastings.
Hey,
We'll
let me
see.
know.
We got
I think
another buddy that's ordained. We're trying to figure out how to get you both involved.
that'd be fun as hell. Watch out, Bryce said. She shows some muscle there. That's pretty funny. Yeah, and you know the social media thing, it can bring you down as fast as it can bring you up. It can be a curse and it can be a great thing. I mean, obviously we do everything on social media, but yeah, it's just one more thing to worry about for a lot of people.
Yeah, I was never worried about it, but everyone else sure seems to be worried about what I have to say. Yeah.
That's what I mean. You know,
Which it never bugged me at all, but it's just like, yeah, whatever.
For both of you,
Bunch of crybabies.
can it be a little bit too much to keep up with, or do you have like just friends or family point out just some key questions or takeaways or other reactions just to keep up with just what your fan base is saying?
I don't know. I've always just kind of spoken my mind on there. My racing page is different. That's just.
but Dobmeier's not on
results.
social media either.
Yeah.
You know, he never has been.
No, and well, he grew up in a different time than me and Brody.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, what's
I
that
don't
say
even know
about
if
me?
social media exists when Dobmeier started racing. 97, probably not.
Yeah, I was calling people back in the day with smoke signals. Yeah, that's how old I am. What about you in social media? Are you heavy on it? Does somebody else help with racing, or you just do it on your own?
We have a racing page that we use every once in a while, and I have a personal page as well, but I just really put up racing pictures. That's about it. But we kind of do a weekend recap for results on my dad's Facebook page, and give a shout out to the sponsors, let everybody know how the weekend went, and that seems to be pretty good. So everybody kind of is just informed on how things are going. So
Sure. It's funny. My social media page, it's either fishing, dogs, hunting, or racing, or grandkids, and that's it. And otherwise, it's like I don't have any other social media life, I guess, at least as far as
It's good to
not Grand Forks best source.
It's good to not have a social media life.
I agree. I got off it for many, many years, and then when I joined up here, John, you recommended me, like, Dale, you should probably get on Facebook. It's good to network and interview research and look forth. I'm like, oh, shoot, I guess you're right.
Yeah, and you know, the one thing I will say about Facebook, because I was one of the last people to jump on the bandwagon too. I mean, I'm old school. Is reconnecting with people that I haven't seen in years. I got to reconnect with old school friends that I probably haven't seen in 20 or 30 years. And it's kind of cool. That way you can, type a name, and if you're lucky, you can figure out where they are. And I threw a lot of people off because it's not my real name, but I think they kind of figured it out in the end there. But
that.
that different name crap. How much traveling are you going to be able to do this year, or have you really thought about it? Is your schedule complete?
So as far as the traveling part goes, we're probably just Grand Forks, Devils Lake, NLRA, and then we also kind of wrote down, say if we're not racing a Saturday or a Sunday, we wrote down potential events. So if we get this to race, we can go somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Is there a track you really would like to go to that is maybe got a question mark on it that's close enough?
Well, one track I really want to race at one time is Cedar Lake. I feel like the racing there is awesome, especially for the late model class. However, it doesn't really line up the best with the schedules around here. And it's pretty far away, but that is one track I'd really like to go to in the future.
Sure.
It's not that far away, though. Just 4 hours or 5 hours.
Yeah.
You got to travel more. You do. You'd be so much better. You guys never go anywhere. I always give them crap about it. Like, whenever we're racing in South Dakota, either at Sioux Falls, there's a couple late model shows in Watertown, and he's never at any of them. It's like, come on, man. Get out here.
Is there like a certain ritual you got before you guys travel for a certain race, a certain night of the year, where a certain track you're out of town at, where hey, get to meet up with certain drivers that are only at this spot, or a certain like after hangout destination at this spot? Any certain spots of the year that you like to look forward to?
In Husitz, there's a spot where everyone always hangs out, a bar that's a couple miles away from the track. And in town, everyone always goes to the Bun. That's what you're talking about, right? Just kind of, yeah. In town, it's the Bun. Out of town, well, for NOSA, Mandan was always big. Not so much anymore. I don't even think we're going there this year, but we always had parking lot parties there. That was our NOSA party every year in Mandan. Set up the beer pong table, and everyone's still drunk when they get in their car the next night.
Fun times.
Well, it's so cool after the races. Doesn't matter if it could be at like a post, at a bar or restaurant, or just in the pits in general. I think if everyone just has time to make it out to the pits at least once or twice each season, it's just like almost like the official after party.
Yeah.
Like bonfires are going on, and
I remember being a kid, and there was nothing better than going to the pits, and nothing worse than when they'd say, "Nope, we're not going to the pits tonight."
Yeah.
They always be like, "Oh, Dobmeyer didn't win tonight. He's angry. You don't want to go talk to him anyway."
Oh.
Yes, I do. Let me go see Dobby. Come on.
And they're not making it any easier to get to the pits right now. I know I jumped in, I stole a side-by-side the other night, and had to go down kind of by the drum there and down North Washington and back in, but that should be hopefully taken care of soon. Daryl, one of the Canadians, good morning, boys. Cedar Lake USA Nationals, I think it's called. Good times, good late model racing. Cheers, boys. Yeah, okay, here we go. Cheers. Always take the kids into the pits. Kids love that
Jared
stuff.
Lund to be that posted that. He brings his little boys into the pits, and they are die-hard race fans.
yes, they
And
are.
It's awesome. And they are so cute. They just love to be there. There's no place they'd rather be.
Yep. Geez, we're talking about cute kids. You're getting married and stuff. How long until we see a little go-kart driver?
Well, I for sure want to have a kid at least before I turn 30, because I would like to be
How old are you now?
26.
Okay.
So I don't want to be like 60 when my kids are graduating.
Yeah.
That would suck.
Sure.
I wish I grew up in a different time where I
Yeah,
already
well, if
had
you
my
can still
kids.
have one at 30, and if you're 60 by the time they graduate, they
That
must
ain't
not be very
good.
smart.
graduate college.
Yeah, they got held back
Still not
11
good.
times. Fun fact, Nolan's first night in a late model, Cedar Lake. Wow, I did not know that. Did not know that.
A question picking back off a little earlier. I mean, besides like a favorite race night of the year for after party stuff, but do you guys have a favorite race night of the year for just like a certain track you like to race each year? Or favorite night this season you're looking forward to in particular by chance for either of you?
A few of the really fun nights each year are the specials, like the John Sykes Memorial in Grand Forks. For us late models is 3 nights of racing. Really good payout. A lot of people. It's a party in the pits afterwards, every night. That's one of the events I look forward to every year.
That was so much fun last year. That was
They're a good
3
time.
straight nights.
I'd say that the Sites Memorial is definitely my favorite race to watch. That's the one weekend a year. I can't watch sprint cars because I'd get angry watching sprint cars. But
Yeah.
I can watch late models, and I love that race, man. They always, Doogie and the gang always puts on a great track and 92 laps, and it usually never takes rubber. And if it does, it's in the last third of the race.
Right.
It's just like, wow.
It's amazing that 92 lapper, how many times I've seen them go. They can go 50 laps
Yeah.
without a caution flag. And thank God for computers, because after about 5 laps, you don't know who's who.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's just constant.
Some guys are 4 laps down. Some guys are
Right,
2
right,
laps down.
right. And you don't know who's leading, who's not. Late models, you going to be going up to Canada this year?
We do have events in Winnipeg and Morden, so yes.
Okay. Tori Martin, Jade Hastings, shut up.
Oh my gosh, Tori. Who's that guy?
He's got to be coming home soon, I
You
thought.
know who he is?
I know who he is. I remember. I knew who he was. I haven't seen him in a while, but yeah. I think they should be coming back up here soon, I thought.
Miss you, Tori.
I do too. I miss the whole family. They're good people. World of Outlaws this year, we talk about them. I don't know if it will be as competitive there won't be quite as many cars. Did that bother you with the new high limit thing and the World of Outlaws, and it doesn't matter to Jade Hastings? We're running with them or whatever.
I think it's great for racing. I think that's if they can make it work, which so far it seems to be. It's the best thing. It's the best time to be a sprint car fan ever.
Sure.
For sure. There's racing on every night. The competition of the Outlaws, watching them, it's still the same.
You never know. Anything's changed.
Racing against them, though, might be a little easier. I mean, you still got all the same guys who are going to kick your butt, but there's a couple less of them. So now instead of starting 15th, it might be starting 12th.
Sure, which could be huge.
That's huge. And I always tell people, if you can start next to the fast guys, you usually will maintain speed. You kind of race with whoever's around you.
You know, if they can do it, you can do it.
Yeah, and if you start up front, you'll go the same speed as them. If you start in the back, you're probably going to go the same speed as the guys in the back. So the closer we can start to the front, the better.
Somebody wants to know, Jade, do you remember when you were younger, and this is from Sam, when my dad and you came down and joined his Victory Lane picture? I tried to find it with your bleach blonde hair.
Yes, I do remember that.
You do?
Yeah. I sold flags at the racetrack, so I knew Sam because she sold 50-50, and then I raced go-karts, so I knew them all from the go-kart track as well.
Okay.
And yeah, so I ran down there with Sam and what's her brother's name? Can't ever remember. Brady?
Oh no.
I'm thinking
I got his door panel.
Blake.
Is
Yeah.
right there, Blake Anderson.
Ran
Yep.
down there and joined the picture. Yeah, bleach blonde hair. I dyed it one year for hockey. It was ugly.
Oh, sure. Do you get any help or advice from Lauren? He was fun to watch. Always had sharp-looking cars.
Yeah, he tries to help me as much as he can. He understands that a lot of things have changed setup-wise but driving wise, it's still the same. And he helps whenever he thinks he should say something. He speaks up, and it's usually good advice.
Okay. I want to ask you guys, do you have any superstitions? Are there any rituals that Brody Troftgruben goes through on race day, race night? How you dress, how you eat, how much you sleep. Do you have, say, race day rituals that you go through, or you just kind of go with the flow?
Yeah, I kind of just go with the flow. I don't really do anything in particular each night. So
You don't, because there's some guys, you'll go in the pits, you won't even see the race car driver. I mean, they'll go hide or they'll do whatever. They're doing their thing. When you get dressed, it doesn't matter the left sock's on before the right sock or any of that kind of stuff either.
I thought that was a hockey thing, but apparently it is a racing thing too.
I know, because that was a hockey thing for me.
Hockey, everyone wanted to put the right skate and right sock on first for some reason. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, everybody's got their rituals, and are you superstitious at all?
Not too much. No.
Okay. And how about you? Are you?
I like to eat the same meal.
What's your race day meal then?
The hamburger steak breakfast from the Roadhouse Cafe.
Oh yeah. I can eat that any time of the day.
I like to have that every day or every Friday at about 11:30 noon, and then I like to take a nap from noon to 1:30.
Okay. And does the nap always work? Because I would love to be able to take a nap every day, but it seems like I'll lay down and I can't.
Yeah, on Fridays for me, I know as soon as my head hits the couch, I'm usually out.
Okay. Heather says a good friend of hers doesn't eat tomatoes, and nobody with them can eat tomatoes on race day. It's like, come on, we're not talking about a banana in a boat.
It's not a tomato, I swear.
It just looks like one. So now this weekend, what do you got scheduled?
I believe it's just Grand Forks on Friday. I'd have to double check.
Okay.
But, I'm not sure if there's any events that are too close for Saturday.
Okay. And what about you this weekend?
Be Grand Forks and then Husitz. That's how most of our weekends.
Okay, now Husitz is on Saturday? Sunday. So you can take Saturday, get your stuff together, all your work you have to do, whatever, and maintenance, and you take off again Sunday morning.
Yeah, pretty much.
And how long of a drive is that? And what time do you get home then, Sunday night or Monday morning?
With the truck and trailer and stopping for fuel, it's probably close to 5 hours. Usually get home at between 3 and 5, depending when the races end.
Okay, and then what time do you get up and go to work?
7 o'clock on Tuesday.
Oh, okay. You don't work on Mondays?
Not usually, no. None of us do. We
Okay.
all have
Recharge day.
swindled our way out. Well, it's as soon as I wake up, though, I'm headed to the race shop. So
Sure.
that's my we're 2 days behind. If you got your race Friday, you got 6 days to get ready for next Friday. Well, now we're 2 days behind for next Friday.
Sure. Are your pit guys, do they all work with you or do they all have different jobs?
They all have, as far as day job.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all have different jobs.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. You're fortunate enough to be able to get Mondays off. How about the rest of your crew? A lot of them have to go to work?
Most of the time they don't work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's one guy, Eric. He's the one who's my age, and he goes to work every time. I
Okay.
tell him, why don't you take vacation days? I don't want to waste it on racing. And I was like,
Well,
whatever.
if you can work, as a zombie and tired like that. I know Dobmeyer did it. They'd take off, Saturday mornings, go to Knoxville. As soon as they were done at Knoxville, they'd load up and drive that night to Husitz and get home at 4:30 in the morning and be back at the shop at 7:30 to go to work. I could do that for even driving beat truck. We go 10 days last year. And so, I drive a beat truck for 12 hours. I come here for whatever. But, yeah, you're a zombie.
That's proof that
after 10 days.
Everyone's built different.
Right, right.
Some people just can't do that, And Mark would tell them, you're not too tired. No, they're probably just too tired. You're just built different.
Sure,
You're an
sure.
animal. Yeah.
Yeah, I know I've had some wild days. I put myself through some very unorthodox work routines, and then eventually you just hit a point where I haven't slept in a day and a half.
Yeah. Now, where is your race shop again? I knew this.
It's on Landfill Road.
Okay. And you are not far off of South Wash? Is that right?
Yeah, it's at my parents' house on South 20th.
Okay, on South 20th. Okay, yeah.
Bringwatt Park.
Yeah, okay, that's right. Yeah, I did see it because I pointed it out to you. I remember seeing the race trailer there. And what nights are you in the shop? Do you have certain nights where you are in that shop all the time? Because I know some guys do. It's Thursday, we got to do this, or it's Tuesday. Is there nights that you take off that's in your calendar? Now being engaged and all that, do you give yourself one night a week to get away from racing?
No, I can't. I just can't. If I want to race, if I want my car to be ready to win, I can't. Yeah, I have a lot of help at the track, but that not all that help carries over to the race shop. So it's just me and Steve for the most part in the shop. John helps when he can, but yeah, it's every night usually. Monday, like I said, I don't work. That's wash the car and do all the engine maintenance. And then Monday night will be torsion bars, take them all out, clean them, re-grease them, re-grease hubs. And then where are we at? We're at Wednesday night. I'll go back to do all the tires. That usually takes me the whole night and take them all out of the trailer. I like to remeasure all of them because they change just sitting there.
Yeah, sure.
Groove any ones that need it, sipe any ones, rebalance tires. Thursday night, Bryce is usually there Thursday night. She cleans the inside of the trailer out. I clean the outside of the trailer and the truck. And then I get all my shocks ready and then load the car. And then it's race weekend or Saturdays. So we race Friday and then Saturdays we try to do all of that 4 days of work in one day. And then race Sunday. And yeah, it just never ends. If you take a day off, just like homework in high school, you're just gonna
you're going to be
further
making up
behind.
for it. Yep. How important is it for you now? Obviously, your fiance comes from racing background and family and all that kind of stuff. But if you had to in a pinch, could you say, "Hey, I need your help measuring tires or something like that?" And she, boom, would know what to do.
Yeah, she wouldn't know what to do, but she would do it.
You could explain. You could tell her what to do, and she'd figure
I
it
just have
out.
to show her once, and then she's good at taking her time and not breaking stuff and making sure she does it right. And yeah, she's just changing shocks for me the other night.
Okay.
Tonight she's gonna come help me wash the outside of the trailer because she already washed the inside earlier this week. So
Good for you. How about that?
Heck yeah.
How about you? Do you get a night off, or are you in tinkering all the time?
Pretty much every night. The day after the weekend is done, we're washing the car and fixing any damage and, trying to get a list of parts that we need. And then when, Monday comes around, we'll get those ordered so we can get them here by, when we're racing next. And it's pretty much an every night type of deal. So.
And people forget about ordering parts and cleaning the trailer and sweeping the shop, changing the light bulb that went out in the shop. All those things that also have to be done.
All those fun little things,
Yeah.
those little details.
All of this stuff you guys talk about, a lot of people don't realize that you have to do this every.
It's just like a small business, just like probably, maybe even harder at times.
But this could,
than any small business. If we didn't have full jobs, we could easily do this 10 hours a day and we'd still be behind.
And lack of taking care of these things could cost you in a big time way.
It could cost you a win and it could cost you your life.
Exactly.
I don't know which one's more important.
Exactly. Said like a true race car driver. How about that?
Does a part of you like immersing yourself into those little like nook and cranny details where it's just like, okay, I'm just kind of going through my mental checklist throughout the week and this little oddball thing here and there?
It all just becomes a habit. That's something that you couldn't go a day without doing it, or a race day or whatever. Yeah, it's fun. For me, my friend Jordan Adams, he always asks me, "Do you still like it? Is it still fun?" And I always tell him, the racing might be becoming a little less fun, except for when I win, obviously.
Sure.
But the shop work is becoming more fun.
Okay.
It's just a place of peace and comfortable, and you're striving to be great on the track. It's just like being in the weight room for a sport, but less taxing on your body.
Right.
More mentally draining.
All right, if you had a night off and you could sit down and watch TV, say Netflix, no racing, what would you watch?
Well, lately we've been watching a lot of murder documentaries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like to watch comedy movies, and she likes to watch horror movies.
Oh, sure.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
How about you?
I like comedy and horror movies as well. Those are kind of my two go-tos.
Yeah. We've been watching the Netflix series lately. Marie Stewart, wow, so young with great work ethic, you guys. Before we knew what we were going to do with Kenneth, she spent a few nights with him learning the process. Pretty welcoming, and she learned a lot. I appreciate that, and I don't think she'll forget the time she spent with those guys. How important is it to you to see the new blood? I mean, we're seeing some new blood again now this year. A couple of new late model guys with sprint cars. Hopefully going to we got a couple new ones coming.
I've heard rumors of lots.
Yeah,
I just haven't seen them yet.
And how important is that to keep all this stuff alive?
Very important, and I think everyone needs to think about that. Just always be welcoming to families and their children, and remember that, I don't know, if you love racing, you should want this to go on forever. I know
yeah.
I do.
And the kids absolutely love it.
Everyone's watching, and the reason I loved racing and wanted to race the sprint cars is because of how Mark Dobmeyer acted around everyone and treated me.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
everyone should do the same.
And
Be professional. And
the fruit doesn't fall far from the tree. That's exactly how you guys are in the pits.
Yeah.
Because you know what it means to these kids.
Oh, exactly. And I always tell everyone I wasn't a kid that long ago. It's getting farther all the time, but I remember like it was yesterday. Just all week, starting on Monday, I couldn't wait for Friday so I could go watch Mark Dobmeyer.
Yeah.
That was my thing.
Yeah. Did you have a guy growing up, Brody, that you had to go watch race?
As far as a favorite driver, I guess I'm not completely sure. Dustin Strand was always very fun to watch. I mean, in a late model ripping the top side, and watching Dobmeyer, I liked watching him in the sprint cars. But yes, I guess I'm not really too sure.
Now, you have got enough time into this thing now, and now with these new guys coming, when we talk about new blood, now you're one of the guys that can give advice and help. When you first started, I'm sure you couldn't get enough advice from people and help. But do people ask you now? I mean, Brody Troftgruben, he's a winner.
Yeah, occasionally here and there. I don't know if my advice is ever the best, but I try to give them my input and see if it'll help out at all, and just look at the situation and just try to do my best to help them, I guess.
How important is it for you to be that guy for the kids, like we've been talking about?
Yeah, it's really cool to be the driver, and when families come down and we hand out cards and sign them for them, to see the smiles that we put on their faces. It really makes my night. It's a very important thing to do, and to make sure they have a great night and develops interest, and it's a blast.
Amanda Jo Enright is watching. I missed the last one she had talked about, but she was talking about Sean and working on the cars and getting a schedule. But she said it's been an interesting dynamic to watch Sean go to Jade for advice after working on his car so many years. Marie Stewart wants to know how long each of you boys has been racing. Each of you men has been racing. Start from go-karts to now. How many years have you got into this?
I raced a go-kart, I think, for 6 years. And I started in the late model in 2017.
Okay.
And so this will be my...
Wow, it's your 7th year already in a late model?
Is it 7?
You started a year after me, didn't you? Or maybe it was 2.
17 summer.
Oh, dang. Okay, never mind. It was after me.
This will be your 7th year.
Or 8th.
Wow.
I think it's my 8th.
Okay. And you?
This is my 11th in a sprint car, and I raced go-karts for 9. So this is my 20th season then, I guess.
Man, I've had people ask me how long I've been at River City Speedway. To me, it seems like 7-8 years, but it's been way longer than that. I can remember when you first started, and to me, it seems like it was 3 or 4 years ago.
I can remember when you first started in
Yeah.
Victory Lane.
Yeah,
So I was sitting in the stands.
That was, man, I kind of miss going down to Victory Lane, too. Reed Foss, I always look forward to going to talk to Brody after the races, always in a great mood.
I found Amanda's earlier comment you were referencing, John. She said Sean needs to work on developing a maintenance program.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
And,
Very important. Make a list.
Yeah. Are you always in a great mood at the end of a race?
Not all the time, but I try to do my best to put a smile on my face and, try to keep my head up.
It's like I put it this way a lot. 4 decades of radio that I did. It didn't matter if you were in the worst, shittiest mood ever. You still had to act like you were in a great mood. How about you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good at being myself all the time. Yeah, I don't know. I should be better at it because I watched Mark all those years, and he was always super professional. But I'm great around the kids. I'll always be happy and smile. But if you're an adult and you come up and tell me good job after I ran 5th, I'm going to say good job at what? For what?
Okay. Why don't you just say
You know.
Thanks?
Sometimes, if I don't know who it is, I always say thanks. But if I know who you are,
Oh,
if you're
sure.
a
And then
green,
they
I'll
know what they're
say
talking
that.
about. Right,
Yeah.
right. If it's not the best race, just let the kids in first. There you go. That's a good idea.
Now, I had a question for Brody. I know you got an all-new wrap this year. I think we got a couple more pictures we'll be showing here in a little bit,
Oh, yeah.
too. details into what was going through to come up with the new wrap design. And do you go through a big with your crew brainstorming process for the redesign?
We kind of discuss what type of colors we want on the car this year. Like with this new car, our deck was black, so it was going to be different anyways. And then we can kind of find maybe like a car that we like. If we like the design, we'll send it to Max over at Custom Stripes and say like, hey, you want to do something similar to this, and see what he comes up with. And yeah, he really did a heck of a job on that thing this year. I think this is probably like my favorite design that we've ever had. So hats off to Max and the Custom Stripes crew. They did great.
You know, and when we look at, you guys were in here earlier and we were looking at the Duso Photography Wall of Fame there. When you look at your cars from 3-4 years ago compared to now, big changes. I mean, you know, when we talk about color schemes and all that, let's take a look at, see what kind of pictures we got here.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, there you go. All right, now you can see pretty much all black car.
Yeah, it's all black.
When I'm looking at the picture up there, it was almost all yellow with a little bit of orange and white and black. But do you think the black is more intimidating? Because I've always liked black.
Yeah, I just love it.
Yep, okay. Great picture in Victory Lane. And there you go, Ma and Dad. Can't see the car much. We've got too many signs in front of the car now, but and there's your last year's car.
Then I can queue up his new design here too. I got a thing here at Old 7. May have to, one sec here.
That's part of it there, isn't it? The background, is that your new car on the background?
Yeah, it's got the black nose.
Yeah, in the back.
Yep.
All right, here we go.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Right on.
I think it needs blue nose, like the plastic part of the nose.
That's what you had before, though, right? And then you went to black?
Yeah, he did.
We were white last year with the nose.
Oh, you
Okay,
were?
that's
Yeah.
right. Yep. Okay.
I don't know if we've ever had a blue nose.
I feel like the blue nose would help it all flow together there, but
That's
it'd have to be
pretty
dark.
cool. All right, we're
How fast can you switch a nose? Like, can you just order blue nose and rivet it on, boom, done?
It's a little bit of work.
Yeah, you got to mount it and size it and fabricate it a little fit, or what?
It depends, I guess. Most of the time when we're replacing nose, we're fixing a bunch of damage. But
I suppose.
I mean, if you're just like taking it off and putting it back on, I suppose maybe it's not as much work. So
Just a bunch of rivets, I bet.
a lot of rivets, yeah.
couple of questions before we wrap this up. Approximately how much does it cost for a whole new wrap? And I'm sure it's different from a sprint car compared to a late model, but any ideas?
I'm honestly not sure. We've had a very good sponsor for all of our design work, High Caliber Design, and he does it all at cost. So
Sure.
I just buy the vinyl. I'm not too sure on that.
Okay.
I know it's not cheap. I know that.
Heather says $1,000.
Probably be close. Yeah.
Okay. And Jade, are you
For
running?
one car. That's just probably one
Right.
car. No.
Are you
spares.
going to run for points at Huset's? Somebody, Billy Schletter wants to know.
Just have to see what happens. Ideally, yes. It's a long summer though.
Yep. Carry on. Brody always has an excellent attitude, even when the night does not go his way. That's what we like to hear. All this stuff. Who helps? And name off your sponsors. Gets out the cheat sheet here. That's what you got to do. The cheat phone.
We have a few people, to say the least, that helps us out. Okay, for our sponsors, ABM, Anderson Steel and Erection, Auto Value, Byron Farms, Bun Lounge, Custom Stripes, Empire Townhomes, Fritzy, Gateway Auto Tech, Hausman Motorsports and Farming, Integrated Steel, Kaz Brothers Construction, K&E Construction, Lundquist Custom, Main Hair Care, Milwaukee Tools, Northern Valley Vending, Northern Air Action Park, Shane's Landscaping, Shocks by Hammer, SRT Specialties, The Shop, Throttle Addiction Motorcycles, 96 Racing.
Wow. And who helps?
My parents are, they do so much for me, and they got me into this sport. My dad, Rod Troftgruben, my mom, Carrie Ann Troftgruben. Unfortunately, yesterday, my dad's dad, my grandpa Merlin, he passed away. So,
Oh, man. Sorry to hear that.
Does he get the races on Friday?
he comes every once in a while. He's gotten, no, not the one that comes to the track. No,
Okay.
that would be my mom's dad.
Okay. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so it's been a little tough, but so my family, my pit crew, Randy Bakke, Evan Larson, my Tracy Barclay, Serena, Jeremy Kwame. You know, that's kind of our family and pit crew there. Everybody helps out, and I couldn't do it without any one of them. So thanks to those guys as well.
Are your mom and dad like two completely different cats? Because your dad is quiet, in my opinion. He's a very quiet guy. Maybe he's not. Maybe I don't know him, but your mom is like bouncing off the walls. And are they like the perfect couple because they're different, or are they a lot more alike than I think?
As far as the quietness goes, they're different at that point for sure.
Yeah.
My mom does talk a little bit more than my dad, and
I don't mean that in a bad way. Wow, that's funny. And okay, how about you, Jade? Who helps and sponsors?
All kinds of people help, and couldn't do without any of them. But we'll start with the sponsors. All Construction, they've been with me forever, and I work there. Great people, family-owned business. If you need anything done on your house, anything exterior interior, go to them. Ewing Oil, they get us to Husitz. Without them, we wouldn't even going there every week wouldn't be an option. They buy our fuel and get us down the road. That's, by the way, that's the Cenex over by Paradiso. That's Ewing Oil for the people that don't know. And then,
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Reed Hammer Masonry, Sletton Customs, Denny's Tavern, Forks Finest Auto Body, Fabricators Unlimited, the Beehive of Reynolds, Precise Mechanical Installation, Johnny's Lounge, East and West Excavating, Amsoil, Dannon's On-Site Service, Triangle Coach Service, Development Homes Gaming. Ooh, that might be pretty close. Might have got them all there, but there's a lot of them. I usually forget one or two almost every single time I do this. All my crew guys, Steve and John, they're the ones who started this and are allowing me to do this, and still putting their heart into it 10 years later. Sean Lyons, Jeff Liebrick. Jeff's the one who helped get the ball rolling for us, taught us how to build a car and taught us how to have the right habits. Eric Johnson, my buddy, he designs the car and's been setting it up. We kind of set it up together. He's my right-hand man. He knows how to talk to me when I'm in a mood or when I'm not in a mood. He can tell when I'm fast, when I'm slow. He can tell when I don't feel good. He is my right-hand man, and he's dang good at setting up a race car and just being there. Yeah, all my family, my soon-to-be wife, Bryce, just everybody. I mean, all the track officials. There's so many people. All kinds of people, just the fans.
What you said about you being a kid and what it means to you now when the kids are in the pits, this is pretty cool. Marie says, whenever my son sees the all construction trailers, he's like, oh, there's Jade Hastings. that is cool. Yeah.
Need to get a big all construction sticker on my trailer. And then
there you go. You guys, this was fun. It's the first time we've really done anything like this. I had two big winners in for opening night, and congratulations. And we're hoping this is a sign for what's going to happen for the rest of the year. But thank you for coming in, you guys. I mean, you're taking time off from your job to come in and sit down with us, and we sure appreciate that, man.
Heck
we
yeah.
sure appreciate that.
We appreciate it. This is fun every time.
Well, good.
It gets more fun every time I come in here.
Get a little more comfy,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
and it gets easier.
John, I forgot one quick thing here. If I could give a quick shout out, I saw Kaylee in the chat earlier talking about her daughter racing. She had her big debut last weekend in the Midwest mods there.
I missed that. Was she racing on Friday?
Not Friday.
Not this Friday,
Her
not here, but
I got to call her debut at Devil's Lake on Saturday, and yeah, she kept up, and yeah, that was great.
She was great help. She helped us on the sprint car last year, like she was saying. And she's pretty quiet. Doesn't want to say much, but you tell her to do something, and she's on it. And you just tell for her age, she's super mature and focused.
Yes,
on the task at hand.
not just okay, my turn to drive, get in the car and go.
Or give me the wrench, I'll do it. She wanted to know how to do it and do it right.
Yeah, I mean, now when a family and when they're giving up their lake place and all that kind of stuff so they can focus on racing, if they're going to be that invested, you should probably be as invested too if you're going to be driving that car, and she absolutely is.
Yeah, major shout out to her on her debut weekend there.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
Yeah. And I think she had a good run there in Buffalo River too there. So
nice.
yeah, big ups to her.
What number? Do you know what number her car is?
15.
15. Okay.
awesome. And you guys, we'll see you on Friday.
Heck yeah.
Keep that winning
Hopefully.
streak going.
Have you heard anything about rain?
It's not supposed to rain now for the rest of the week.
Was yesterday's rain close to too much? Have you heard anything on that?
No, I haven't heard. But the sun is supposed to come out today
And tomorrow's supposed to be like 80.
and windy tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
From what I understand, so that's going to help.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but you guys, I can't wait for Friday night. It's going to
yeah.
be fun. I want to see the win streak keep going.
Episode 200 too. at the
Episode
Broken Drum
200
in
is
3
coming
weeks.
up on the 6th. Yep. Broken Drum Party will be live at the racetrack for Dirty Thursday, a 200th episode. We have no idea who we're going to get on yet. We're hoping people will just come in. Just drop through. We'll sit down and talk with you for 10, 15 minutes. And
Maybe get a couple race fans on there. That have something to say.
anybody. Yep. We're going to leave it open for anybody that wants to come by at River City Speedway. Tentatively, that's what we're going to do at 11 o'clock on the 6th. And then, of course, the big party at the Broken Drum. After that, episode number 200, Wes Irwin with Living Like Outlaws will be here. You know who he is. He's the merch guy for the Outlaws at the Mohawk. He's been on the show numerous times. I am so looking forward to it. This is going to be great. River City Speedway. We'll be able to catch both of these guys here on Friday night. Remember, racing starts at 7 o'clock. Get in there, all right? Check it out. Dirty Thursday brought to you by Rumors Sports Bar and Casino. They're right here in the Grand Cities Mall. In fact, we saw BT out there flexing a little while ago. Go check it out. You want to watch the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight in the playoffs, you'll be able to do that. Wall-to-wall TVs at Rumors Sports Bar and Casino. Sandwich and a side for just $7 today, or you can order off their menu. I'm still going to push the mac and cheese. I absolutely love it. Great place with a great atmosphere. Their lunch and dinner specials, $7 express lunch. There's people over there playing bingo right now. Check it out. They're open every day from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. Rumors Sports Bar Casino in the Grand Cities Mall. Well, that's going to wrap it up for today. Fork Sports Highway with Bill and Monty, and that whole crew is on at 6:30 tonight. It's an awesome sports podcast. We're going to come back on again tomorrow morning at 10:30. Every once in a while, we'll do a special show. Casey Gajewski is going to be on the show tomorrow. He's got the big MMA fight coming up this weekend, and we'll talk about that. His opponent was on a few weeks back. We're going to give Casey a shot, too, all right? Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. Remember to like, share, tag, and follow us. Hit that notification bell on your smartphone. You never miss a show that way. You know the Forks are awesome. Grand Forks' best source is giving them an identity again.